Hey everyone, my name is Corey. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. This is the Murray Leadership Academy sit down session. I have one of the parents here of one of the kids that attended the most recent academy, the Travian Jones Senior. How you doing, good sir?
Doing all right, Corey. How about yourself?
Doing all right. So I want to jump straight into it. Tell me, how did you first find out about the Murray Leadership Academy, and what were your initial thoughts?
My sister Beverly, she texted me over the phone, and she was like, "Hey, I got something you might want to check out for DJ." So when I looked at it, my first initial thought was, I think this would be pretty good for him.
Mm. Um, when you well, do this for me. Go a little bit more into detail. When she texted to you, what was going on to make you say that this is probably something that he needed at that point?
Well, when I looked at the flyer, because you look in your phone and you click on the flyer and you see what services that people are offering. In this case, yours. I just thought about it in a time where, to be quite frankly honest, but I think the world is kind of flipped upside down, and you have a lot of women in leadership positions, and you have a lot of men that should be in leadership positions that aren't, and that's by design. But I thought to myself, well, if he's going to grow up in the world like that, number one, he needs to know how to cope with that, and number two, he needs to know how to be a leader so he doesn't fall by the wayside. So that was my initial thoughts right off the bat when I saw that. The only thing I've always stressed leadership within myself. As you know, that's a journey within itself to learn what you need to learn.
Yes, it is.
To be a leader. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't have these classes when I was growing up, so I could give him a good, according to the journey I've had, a good 10, 15 year head start. So it's huge.
One of the things that went through my mind as I developed the Leadership Academy was exactly what you said. The amount of void that was within my life from a personal perspective. I knew off the top that had I had this level of teaching right here, there are many decisions I would not have made growing up. Had I had this level of teaching, had I had this level of consistency backed by a father, which most of us didn't have, and even now still don't have. So your son, he's in a plus position. When you brought this to his attention, how did he receive it?
Well, naturally he responded. I was like, "Well, DJ, how do you feel about it?" He's like, "Well, I think I know myself pretty well." And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna leave that up to you, but leadership is something that you have to learn throughout your whole life." So, I texted my sister and I was like, "Beverly, DJ said he think he knows himself pretty well, so I don't think he's gonna take the course." And so her response over the text message was, she was like, "So this is coming from a teenage boy who don't even have a job." I forget what else she said, but it was mainly, he's irresponsible, he forgets a lot of things, and he don't even have a job, and he's saying that's not something he needs. And that text message right there is when I made up in my mind as a parent, you know what, I'm not gonna leave it in his hands. I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy in the Leadership Academy class. I'm like, that's a great one. So
that's what's up, man. One of the things that I have come to realize is that nowadays and as unfortunate as it may be, for whatever reason, parents are leaving these decisions in the hands of their children. Why would you be shocked when the parent or when the child does say, "Oh no, I don't need it"?
No, I wasn't shocked at all. And then I was saying, myself, maybe he should go, maybe he shouldn't. But sometimes even when you call yourself leaving, I guess decisions in your children's hands like that, we as parents, we really have to be very careful, especially in the age where we have, including myself, have heard the endless amount of propaganda. It's my choice. It's your choice. And I think parents have gotten along the wayside of leaving too many choices in our children's hands that, quite frankly, put are not their choices. It's our choice how we lead God and direct them. So, yeah, I guess I was about a split second of saying, I don't know if I would have made that, stuck with that decision ultimately, but I will give my sister credit for putting that extra seed in my spirit to say, you know what, it's not your choice. You're going to go join the class.
And the good thing about that is that, like you said, you actually have someone who recognized the need for your son and she loved you and your son enough to even bring it to you. Throughout the course of the academy, tell us about some of the changes that you saw within your son as he progressed through it.
Well, number one, the first and foremost is awareness. He joined the class. He came in. He's a good kid. He didn't come in with a negative attitude saying, "Oh, I think I know myself." I mean, he's always respected me to that point that even if he say yay and I say nay, or he says nay, I say yay, he respects that. So he came in with an open mind, but the awareness that I believe he now has when it comes to his vision as opposed to his sight, is, I think I could truly say it increased 100-fold. And what I mean by that is he is aware to the point where he understands the significance of what leadership is and the gravity which it carries. I think that's going to help him, like I said, tremendously in his life as a male figure and a leadership figure, especially when it comes to whatever he decides to embark on, whether that be his career and especially his home.
Man, you are warming me up on the inside, because one of the commencement speech, the topic of it was sight versus vision, and many of the things that we do without proper training from a life perspective, we make many of our decisions based on what we see. But what we see is temporary, and these decisions end up messing up our vision, which is meant to be permanent. So I'm only highlighting that because he highlighted vision itself. You had a chance to sit in on a few of the sessions. What did you think of them?
I think they're extremely in depth. I would say if I had to use a couple words to describe your course, I would say critical thinking, something that this nation no longer possesses. So you have the ability to get people to look within, to think. You know what I mean? Just like the invisible thought reveals the invisible word that is yet to be spoken. Right? So
I like that.
That is what this nation now needs. Is so many thoughts within the hearts and minds of the American people that they can't articulate. And the reason for that is because no one like yourself or whoever might be in a leadership position has actually got these kids and gave them a shovel to say, this is how you take the dirt to uncover the gold that is within you. And if young people don't know how to discover who they are, or even to begin to know how to articulate who they are, what they think they are, let's just begin with who they think they are, and to arrive at that beautiful conclusion that this is who I am, this is who I need to face. No critical thinking, it would never manifest itself the way it should. So critical thinking definitely first and foremost. Then with that, self-awareness comes, I believe. And then after that, then people can, it helps people develop their action plan based on what they are aware of. And that's all attributed to critical thinking.
I'm listening to you, and there's so many different things that are running through my mind now, because I personally started doing video sessions for adults, which was called the Murray Leadership Academy for Adults, and I actually put up the first one a few days ago on the current YouTube channel that we're on now.
Okay.
And it's based on some of the things that you're talking about, except it's a more meaty version of it in comparison to what is being delivered to the teenagers. One of the things that I constantly find is that for as much as I am dealing with these kids, the adults still have these same issues that they never even covered. And they can easily hide behind their adulthood, they can hide behind their parenthood, they can hide behind their job, they can hide behind so many different things, and these situations are still left unattended. But because they're left unattended, they're still causing catastrophic issues within their life. And they look to blame it on every single thing else except for what it really is. It never fails that every single time I have had a graduation for these kids, the kids sit there and they're taking it in with such great intent. But the adults that are in the room, I see them cringing. And every time I wonder to myself, what is it about? What is it about what I'm saying that the kids are so easily able to take in? But the adults, I just see them, they're really battling and struggling with it. And then that's when it hit me. No, these are some things that you're uncovering as it relates to them. I have one more question for you. If you were to speak to a parent right now, or if there is a parent that's considering placing their son or daughter in the Murray Leadership Academy, what would you say to them?
Well, I would say first and foremost, this is my personal opinion. If I step on any toes, I don't need to. But we live in a day and age and time where men lack leadership, and they have been conditioned to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
Women have been conditioned to take the place of a man, and they have been designed that way. So I would say for parents, the best structure for anything is how it was created to be. If you have a son, if you have a son, for the love of God, if he does not have a father, get him in this class. Because one thing we understand as parents, especially when we have lack of tools, and I like to use the analogy, it's like somebody telling you to build a mansion, and they don't even give you the common courtesy to give you a hammer, the bricks, or the mortar. And you come back 20 years, he comes back 20 years later and tell you, why haven't you built my mansion? You would simply reply, you didn't give me the tools to do so. And this is exactly what you would do to your kids 20 years down the road as you destroy and distort their vision, especially as men. Men were created to have a vision. This is why the Most High uses those dreamers. Why does he do that? It's because people who dream, they are so full of life. I've met so many people in my life that when they met me, they said one thing that just stood out to me. They said, before I met you, I never dreamed. Give your sons a chance to dream. Because those that dream, they live. You want to know why they live? Because it is the desire, it is the ambitions, it is the vision that lies within their hearts in order to propel them forward. Something that we parents didn't have, whether we lacked a father or well, for both, man and woman, because we all understand how important fathers are in the home, although we have been conditioned to believe that we are insignificant. This class is so important to your sons that it will not only cause them to think critically about the future, or as I would like to put it, establishing a vision that can last them a lifetime. It also helps them to be able to learn how to look within. And if they're able to learn how to look within, because they are able to critically think, they are able to articulate exactly what they want. And I think black people specifically has grown up in an environment, not that our parents intended, but it was ravaged by a lack of fathers. And our mothers did the very best that they can. Sometimes they could, sometimes they couldn't. It just all depends on who you left in the hands with. But it's because she was so frustrated for different reasons, whether he left or whether they didn't make it, that we as children growing up, we couldn't articulate to our mothers how we truly felt, because we were taught one thing: a child stays in a child's place, which I agree, and a grown-up stays in a grown-up place. But if you do not give your children that room to grow and to tell you things, it stifles the articulation. And that's very important when it comes to speaking who you are, speaking what you want without disrespecting another human being. I hope that wasn't too long-winded. If you have a daughter, it is also critical, because we all know that it begins and ends with the man, and the woman is everything in between. So if I was to liken it to a human being, the man are the feet and the head, and the woman is the spine, and we all know how critical that spine is. If she does not know her proper place in what she was created to be, it causes friction. If your children are not led by you, if they are not led by something greater than us, they will always fall to the wayside. And I honestly believe as parents, we will pay for that, whether it be now or in in the end. The reason I say that is because our children are an extension of us, just like our wives are an extension of the husbands. It works in tandem because it tells you that we're working together as a team. If kids are sitting in the dorm thinking, Corey, saying, yeah, I used to be that child. You want to know why? Because people like him was telling me something that I knew, but I didn't know how to articulate it.
Exactly.
And I have so many dreams and goals, and it gives me that glimmer of hope, even a little bit more than a glimmer, to say, you know what, wow, I think I know how to achieve my vision and goal now. You mean to tell me this is what I have to do? And as parents, I'm not saying we're at the finish line, because life is a journey, so our kids will make this journey. But sometimes as parents, we feel like we're at the end of that journey. And when someone like Corey speaks, we say, you know what? These are the demons we never conquer. And it's a very uncomfortable feeling to be on the battlefield as a warrior, to know you have truly failed. What we don't understand as parents is life is a circle. It never ends. So whether one journey ends and another one begins, it's still the same thing. The demons that we do not conquer, we pass on to our children.
That's it.
Why? Because we never knew how to beat them. And if our children grow up to be just like us, how can we tell them how to defeat it? Or how to defeat them, whether that be one or many? So this course, get your children in it. I think it's a proper place to start people to understand who they are, who they was created to be, what they were designed to do. And it was something far greater than listening to someone on TV telling them who they are when they have absolutely no idea of who they're dealing with, what lies in the hearts of that individual. And with that being said, as parents, leadership, respect, and obedience, I think are the pillars for any society, for anybody to not only lead, but to all, because we all first have to be followers in order for us to be leaders. So, if you don't know how to follow, you definitely will never learn how to lead. So Corey today in his academy is the leader. Bring your children here so they will learn how to follow, so one day they will become the future leaders.
I have nothing else to say. What I will tell you is this. First off, you did that. That's number one. The next thing is this. You gave me like 3 separate topics that I will be doing, that I'll be speaking on. You gave me, just listening to you, I have at least 3 different topics that I'm going to be speaking on. I'm going to be doing weekly videos on, and it's specifically for that reason. When it comes to adults, many of us think when we're in our 40s, our 50s, our 60s that, oh yeah, I'm on this end of life. Who told you that you're on this end? Who told you that you're that close to that end? Who told you that? So, because you have conditioned your own mind to believe that, you have slowed yourself down. And because you slowed yourself down, you have forfeited what the next however many years left of your life, you have forfeited the value of it. So because you forfeit the value of it, you tell us that, well, my life is about over. And then we should feel sorry. And because we feel sorry, it makes you feel more comfortable with shifting into cruise control. And it's not designed to be that way. When you get into your vision, this wasn't even designed to go here, but when you get into your vision, the youthfulness within you, it comes alive again. It's just like people that when they retire, many of them say, now I can finally do what it is that I want to do. Well, what were you doing the past 40 years that wore you all down? But you notice the second they get into the thing that they want to do, they come alive. So the next 10 years is filled with more happiness than the past 40. How does that happen? Man, you done got me started. Let me stop. Hey, listen. So I wanted to get a chance to let you hear it first from a parent as far as the significance of being in the Murray Leadership Academy. Man, you got me going. I might do a video tonight. But listen, guys, this is really real here. If you are interested in getting some more information, you can reach out to us at murrayleadershipacademy@gmail.com. We are also on Facebook and Instagram at Murray Leadership Academy. Other than that, I don't have anything else. Please subscribe to the channel so you can get the weekly videos of topics that will be discussed. We're going to be touching on many different things. It's essentially going to be the same stuff in the sense that I'm talking to the teenagers about, but it's more meat because it's for adults. So I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be coming for you. So I hope you have a stomach for it. Mr. Jones, I thank you so much again, sir. Thank you for your time. I thank you for your ingenuity with speaking to the world.
Not a problem, Corey. Anytime, man.